uh, all of us have, experienced a kind of anxiety when we pass through intersection. That anxiety may be in terms of delay which you may experience, anxiety in terms of possibility of any, crash with any other road user. Either it may be another vehicle or pedestrian or maybe the cyclist. In that case, the design of intersection for road safety is assuming very high importance, because even though the codes of practices are available in our country, the actual design of the intersection on a given road network is a big challenge, because the code is assuming several conditions prevailing under ideal situation. The intersection geometry is also, considered to be very regular. But when you are handling the real world problem, the intersection geometry may not be regular as, considered by the codes of practices, or the assumptions regarding the behavior of the road users may not be valid in field when you are trying to design the real, intersections. So in that context, this presentation is framed with the background of what are the issues typically we experience in Indian context, and what are the design procedures and factors prescribed by the Indian Roads Congress, how to, evaluate design the intersection. That I'm not going to talk about the analytical methods, but I'm going to show the approach for design of intersection and approach to evaluate the design of whatever design you have done, based on certain inputs related to traffic, related to roadway conditions. So if we look at the overall issue of traffic facility provision and improvement, there are three activities involved. One is planning before you actually design it. Planning, that means the allocation of the space for different approaches and different road users. Second comes the design. It is based on the characteristics of different road users. And third is operation and management. The operation and management takes care of the real-time variations in the characteristics of the traffic and the road users. And all these three activities of planning, design, and operational management will ensure that the design or planning or operation which you are taking up for any intersection is ensuring the efficiency of intersection in terms of the throughput each achieves. Second, it also ensures the safety of all road users. And thirdly, it ensures that the delay to all the road users, not only the vehicles, but all the road users, is minimized. And if we are able to achieve these three objectives of efficiency, safety, and delay for any intersection, then probably we can contribute towards achieving economical, environmental, as well as the social sustainability. Now, if you look at the typical, intersection and the issues at the intersection, then this is the photograph here shows the, very, symbolic intersection operation in our country. But there are several, issues which crop up because of, unscientific design and unscientific operation of intersection. Mostly, these intersections are arising out of continuous development and alteration in urban areas. We, try to do a patchwork kind of thing when we build the roads in the cities, and we hardly make any attempt to design the intersection. In the city of Surat, also similar experience we have seen when we, build wonderful BRT system. It is planned, but intersections at when the BRT corridor is crossing with other corridors, it has created huge issues related to safety, which I talked about it, as well as the delay and the efficiency. So we need to ensure that there is a safety and efficiency of the movements, and for that purpose, we need control at different levels at a particular intersection. And if we consider the case of our country, most of the intersections are controlled. In subsequent slide, we'll look at the categorization of the intersections control. The major problems at intersections are Mainly inappropriate traffic control. The major reason for inappropriate traffic control is there is no scientific basis to design the intersections. Recently, Surat Municipal Corporation has started the intersection design based on the real traffic data and real traffic behavior at intersections. We are the consultant to that. So in majority of the cases, it is some empirical idea or of the municipal engineer or the traffic police that drives the design of intersection. Many times, as I mentioned, it is a kind of a patchwork, different routes coming from different directions. They merge and it is assumed that automatically vehicle will adjust to themselves and find their best path. So the issue which arises is of the side distance, and it creates a very major issue related to safety of road users, because at intersection you can see there are many vehicular paths are crossing each other, and this crossing of vehicular path is posing major threat to safety of road users. Many times pedestrians also you can find they are walking from anywhere to anywhere, a J-wave kind of thing, and it further aggravates the situation at intersection. The drivers also, they are, as I told you, you might have also experienced a kind of anxiety while you are trying to cross the intersection. The most of the intersection, most of the
and all the authors have made their efforts very well. With the short times, they have presented the things very well.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, please continue.
So most of the intersections are uncontrolled, and therefore, at the uncontrolled intersection, the crossing operation is controlled, is ensured by the gap acceptance and judgment of the gap by the road users between two vehicles. So, because of issues related to design, even drivers are not being able to judge the gaps appropriately, and this may lead to issues related to safety. Because of guaranteed delays at intersection, drivers at times misjudge the gap and overspeed, and at times it enters into a kind of a dilemmatic situation, and it may result into bad judgment about the traffic conditions and the gap available at intersection. Most of the intersections we have seen, the road users are not complying with the traffic control devices. Signs and markings are also absent, so it doesn't give proper confidence and guidance to the drivers. Visibility also is an issue because of the obstructions, and facilities for soft road users like pedestrian and non-motorized vehicles are rarely provided. And this component, what we are talking about, it is 30 to 40% of the total movement you find in any city, and they don't get proper treatment at the intersection, and therefore the intersection performance finally deteriorates in terms of reduced efficiency, increased delays, as well as reduced safety. This is a statistic to justify that why we should focus on design of intersections. I'll tell you the area wise, if you see the entire network, the area of intersection is hardly 10% of the total area of the network, but the contribution in terms of the crashes and accidents is around 40%. And the reason is obvious, because it generates a lot of crossing conflicts, unlike the mid-block situation. So therefore, we need to take the design of intersections seriously, so that we can reduce the disproportionately high number of crashes happening at the intersections. If you look at the hierarchy by control, because it depends on the intersection geometry as well as intersection volume, how much traffic is arriving at the intersection from different directions. So in the beginning, when the traffic volume is very low, then one can go for what we call it as the uncontrolled intersection, and there may be control of minor movements with the sign of a stop. All of you have seen the stop sign. There may be uncontrolled intersections with the channelizers, free left turn. You might have seen the physical structure constructed on the pavement. Here, these are the channelizers, what we are talking about. These are the channelizers. So it gives free left turn, right? And again, it is a kind of uncontrolled intersection. Then uncontrolled intersection with central traffic island, that is what you see. Then it can be roundabout, that means the diameter will be much more, around 40 meter or plus. Then partially controlled intersection, it may be police controlled, because when the intersection volume increases, police also need to be installed, placed, because you cannot allow all the vehicles to share the same space simultaneously. So there will be time sharing of the space. Finally, once the volume goes furthermore, then signalization of the intersection is necessary. And again, these signalized intersections can be further improvised by toggling the time of permission. That is the green interval provided to different approaches over a period of time in a day. And finally, when the daily volume is crossing around 4,000 vehicles, then you have to go for space separation. That means construction of flyovers or grade separators is a must. But over this entire hierarchy, what happens is we reduce the conflicts and we improve the safety, but at the same time, cost of intersection improvement is also increasing. We have come out with a kind of hierarchy of operation control for different intersections. This we had prepared for Surat Municipal Corporation, a street design manual, and here you can see there are 5 categories of the right of way. These are arterial roads, and less than 9 meter are the local streets. So in city we find there is intersection of all of these categories of roadways, and you will have understand the fact that as the right of way increases, the volume also increases, and accordingly we have provided the guideline for selection of a type of intersection control for different combinations. For example, if you see AA, AB, AC, that means when 60 by 45, 60 by 36, or 60 by 30 meter, that kind of intersection is to be designed, then it will be most preferred, design would be the signalization of, you can go for signalized roundabout or unsignalized roundabout for A category, but it can be acceptable because there is a threshold of volumes for which these intersections can be designed, so it can be acceptable. But for remaining AD, AE, it is not acceptable. That means when arterial road, the collector road and local street are meeting the arterial road, we do not allow any direct intersection of these 2 categories of roadways, in the sense the traffic which is coming from collector road or the roadway which is 18 meter or less, it cannot have direct provision of right turning from its approach, right? Because the flow difference on the arterial and minor roads is so high that if you allow it, it poses great safety risk to the road users. Apart from that, if you try to control it, it creates a lot of delay to the main road traffic. Similarly, we have also prepared the intersection metrics for non-urban or rural roads. It has, as you know, it is national highway to village road kind of thing, and the entire hierarchy from AA to EE is prepared, and what kind of control we can have is suggested here. For AA, the national highway to national highway intersection, we can have rotary, or GS means grade separation. We can have flyovers depending on the traffic volume. And when you are looking at the lower end intersections where other district roads and village roads are meeting, then you can have a priority intersections, because in that case, the traffic volume is less and there may not be any external control necessary. Only yield signs or stop control intersections can take care of your 3 objectives of efficiency, safety, and delay. This is the criteria for upgradation of intersection generally adopted by IRC also, and it is based on the major road flow in 1,000 vehicles per hour versus minor road flow. So it starts with the priority intersection when the traffic volume is less, and it takes you up to the grade separation when you have traffic volume on minor road and major road put together around 40,000 to 50,000 vehicles per day. So this guideline can be adopted when we are looking at intersection design. But the point is whether we have a mechanism to collect the data regularly at regular interval at the intersections or not. In absence of any mechanism for a regular data collection, probably we end up creating very undesirable situation, and then we try to search for the solution to how to correct the situations. In most of the cities, this is the scenario, and therefore it overall reduces the network performance to a lower level. If you look at the factors which are to be considered for design of safe intersections, then one set of factors are human factors, other set of factors are traffic considerations, and the third set of factors are road and environmental considerations. Now, if yourself have done any exercise of intersection design, you will agree that hardly we go through such a rigorous exercise of consideration of all these factors. We simply look at the volume and draw some lines on the piece of paper and draw, finish the design. But IRC doesn't recommend that you can do that kind of shortcut for design of intersections. So it has to be done in a very scientific way, considering the human behavior, consider all types of road users, look at whether the bus stops are located nearby. You have to look at how the passengers which are boarding and which are alighting out of the transit will cross the road. All those issues are to be taken care of. Also, you have to take care of the desirable path by the individual road users while they are entering to the intersection approach, because your design should not rather encourage the road users to violate the established traffic rules or traffic norms, right? So design has to take care of all these technical and non-technical factors in its consideration. Apart from that, the land use abutting the intersection is equally important. The lighting, the drainage of the intersection area is also equally important, right? So, and the grade at which the different roads are meeting each other. Urban areas generally don't face such issues, except what our experience is along this Nagar to Sarthana corridor. There is a canal running along the BRT corridor, and the roads, cross this corridor. So there is a vast difference in the elevation at the intersection area. The approach roads from across the canal, they are having a steep gradient. So in that case, the acceleration and the deceleration rates of the vehicles, their speed when they are entering into the intersection will be quite different, right? So we have to take care of all the road and environmental factors, the human factors, and the traffic factors when we are designing the intersection. Meaning thereby, if we have prepared a template for different geometry of the intersection, not necessary that template will be universally applicable, even if the road geometry remains the same, because all other factors significantly vary from location to location. The basic principles which we need to keep in mind is, number one, the uniformity and simplicity. It should not confuse the road user. If you are residing in Surat, two examples I will give. One example is of at the VR Mall, the Y intersection, Y junction. If you see, drivers, it is so complex design, so drivers get confused. So drivers should not get confused. Road users should not get confused. It should, because there is different way of designing intersection that in the city on the same corridor. So it is not uniform as well as it is not simple. Second is the safety related issue. Safety arises when you ensure the visibility. So visibility should be ensured to ensure the safety. Safety can also be ensured by controlling the speed or approach speed of the vehicles which are entering into the intersection area. Third is minimization of the conflict points, and that can be done by for a provision of roundabout. It's the most popular mechanism, or you can go for time sharing with the provision of the signals at the highest level of volume. You can go for space sharing. And fourth one is the alignment and profile. So these two figures are indicating how the alignments and profiles can be corrected so that the visibility of the vehicles coming from different directions can be improved. This is one template which I am showing here. we have developed for Surat Municipal Corporation for 60 by 60. That means both are arterial corridors and having BRT. And here you can see is well laid down road signs markings, delineation of spaces, provision of the channelization, control of conflicts at the intersection. All is taken care of. Even the pedestrian crossing facilities are provided through what we call it as the speed tables. Now, when we are
All participants are requested to mute your mic to avoid disturbances. Yes, sir. Please continue, sir.
now when we are talking about the safety, since recent past we had a reactive approach. This word black stop pot you might have heard. Government of India has come out with in a big way to give the treatment to the black spots to reduce the intensity of the accidents. It is under the directive of the Supreme Court. Every state government has also to provide treatment to black spots. So that is based on the crash data. And this identification is done once the incident has happened. That means road is already under operation. So that means it's a reactive approach. For example, you have some disease and you take the medicine. That sort of approach, which we call it as the reactive approach, black spot management. But before some disease happens, if you are taking proactive measures to prevent the happening of that disease itself, then we call it as a proactive approach. So even though there may not be any history of accident happening or crash happening, you should audit it, you should evaluate the design, you should evaluate the roadway environment, and identify the possibilities of crashes or accidents at such sites. And this is called as the road safety audit, a proactive approach. And it is suggested for at the planning stage, design stage, construction stage, pre-opening, and also for existing stage. So in the roadway which is already in operation or intersection which is already in operation, there may not be any history of crashes. That doesn't mean intersection is safe. You need to audit it, get it audited by independent person or independent agency, and then they will suggest that what are the possibilities of crashes at the intersection. So before any crash happens, if you are giving the treatment, it is well and good as a proactive approach of road safety audit. So now coming to the core issue of intersections planning and design, these are a few examples of intersections we have analyzed as part of our consultancy work with Roads and Building Department of Government of Gujarat. So if we see, because the major issue, it is organizational issue, I would put it like that, because there are different departments, a different set of organizations involved in construction of these different categories of roads, and the engineers unfortunately do not have that scientific update about the design of the intersection. The roads are simply joined together, and the traffic, they are open to traffic, and it becomes hazardous spot for safety of road users. So the few observations which we can make here is related to improper geometry and inadequate channelization. Here also you can see of traffic flow, and this provokes traffic conflicting movement. Here you can see area is large, but there is no guidance channelization of traffic movements. Let the speed be reduced, but let us not allow traffic to use this facility or this intersection under risky situation. At times, pavement markings are also insufficient. Junction signages are also insufficient. Drivers don't know whether there is junction ahead of it and what kind of junction it is. Side distance is inadequate, particularly in both these approaches. You can see the way there is a curve and these two roads are meeting here. Yes, road marking allows the crossing, but the traffic moving, this is the state highway and its design speed is 70 km/h. And you can imagine if any small vehicle suddenly enters, what can happen to this small vehicle at this intersection. Mainly these junctions become very important points for transfer from main route to the minor road. So you find lot of encroachment near the junction in terms of the dabas and other vehicle repairing shops, etc., etc. So this is how junctions become very critical because of inappropriate geometry and inappropriate provisions for channelization of the traffic and uncontrolled roadside activities. Now, for monitoring the and evaluating the intersection design and intersection operation, we have to go adopt certain standards which measures what is the level of service. That means what quality of service a particular intersection provides. That in a quantified way we call it as the level of service, and it is being carried out in at a 5 levels. One is at the forecasted versus existing level of service. That means we need to, there is something called a guaranteed level of service, desired level of service. So generally for rural areas, it is B. For urban areas, it can be up to C. You can go up to C. So we have to, by forecasting the traffic, you can compare what will be the level of service in time to come and what is the existing level of service, and it becomes an important indicator what treatment you need to provide at a particular intersection to match with the desired level of service. Then you may have number of improvements. I will show with one example how each improvement can be tested, that how much the improvement in the level of service you can obtain in terms of reduction in delay and many other things. Then what is the effect of traffic monitoring on the overall efficiency? What can be the optimized signal design in terms of cycle length, which reduces overall delay? And then once it is in operation, one has to monitoring the performance, because real-time human behavior and real-time traffic volume will definitely be different than what you have considered while designing this intersection. So these standards of level of service for signalized, unsignalized, and roundabout can be used for evaluation of the performance of the signalized intersection. And these are derived from the Indian Highway Capacity Manual developed by CRRI in 2017. So we will go for a case study of Kamrej intersection. All of you might have passed through this intersection. It is a very busy intersection at the outskirts of city. There is a national highway, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, and this is the state highway connecting Surat with Kamrej and other eastern part of the state. So these are the typical issues at intersection: illegal parking on roadside. We have many roadside activities in terms of vending, etc. In all the approaches, we don't find proper channelization for the vehicles and proper facilities for pedestrians also. There are issues related to jaywalking by pedestrians. It creates safety hazard for them, but they don't know actually where from to cross. And safety, therefore, of pedestrian is a big issue. And on the service road, you find as such it is supposed to be one-way movement, but you find vehicles coming from opposite direction also, because they don't have easy path to cross this national highway. So this is the complete methodology of intersection redesign, right from reconnaissance survey up to the preparation of the drawing. And the main input to this design is traffic data and traffic data analysis. So this is the final improvement measures we had suggested: channelization, speed tables we have provided for pedestrian movement, because as you know, it is a BRT terminal also. So a lot of pedestrian passenger traffic is generated. Interchange from ST buses to auto rickshaws to a BRT bus also takes place. And there are many trade and commerce activities also. So there are requirements of parking for not only passenger vehicles, but also for freight vehicles as well. And there are total 7 approaches which are connected by this intersection. So how to ensure that these movements of all minor approaches is in an ordered fashion to provide to prevent the crossing conflicts, to prevent disorderly movement of traffic. So that is what we have been able to ensure while designing this entire intersection. These are the few important features of this intersection improvement. We have suggested dedicated auto rickshaw stand as a part of multifunctional zone. We have also suggested that the space below the flyover can be used as multifunctional zone for parking, etc. And then we had also conducted the simulation of the traffic to assess the efficacy of different options of intersection improvement, like widening the road, providing center line plus pre-left, and then we had checked the aggregate improvement of all the options put together by running the model in vSIM software. So this is the delay for different scenarios. This is the base year or base situation delay for all the movements, that what is the delay right now. And if we provide either Central Island or Widen Road or Central Island plus Widen Road, Central Island plus pre-left, and the final model, that what can be the delay. So that comparison can be made, that how much change in delay as a measure of level of service will happen. And finally, we had carried out the level of service analysis. So final model, if you can see, you can compare all treatment put together, how much improvement in the level of service of these movements can take place. So here you can see AB stands for the worst condition, A stands for the best condition. So here you can see we are able to convert these worst conditions into A, C, and B. That means these improvement measures have definitely effect on the level of service, and it also improves the safety because of channelizations designed for pedestrian facilities, etc. So these are the pictures before and after, and I'll tell you that before this design, they have also, of course, partially implemented. They told they needed around 15 to 16 police personnel to manage the intersection, and now with 2 to 3 people, they are able to manage the entire intersection, because the space planning is made in such a way that the conflicting movements are automatically reduced or removed. Second intersection which we have designed, I think I should be quick because almost time is over, is the Anurvardwar intersection. Those who are in Surat, they might be knowing about this intersection. Space is huge. It is the composition of 3 intersections in a very close proximity to of 100 to 200 meters. So all 3 intersections we had surveyed by video camera, traffic data was collected, and the movement diagrams are prepared. And this is the final design we have suggested. And it took number of iterations before we came out with final design. We have suggested to make this approach coming from City Light as a way approach. So this will be taking traffic from City Light as well as Panas village towards the intersection, number 2. And this arm will be the arm for exiting the traffic from this Evershine junction towards Panas as well as City Light area. We have also suggested resizing of the Central Island, some channelizations, provision of via PBS system, and the parking facilities. So this is the change which will happen. How many conflicts will reduce? So existing conflicts at intersection number 1 are 59, and after our proposed design, the conflicts will reduce to 10. And main benefit is in terms of the reduction in crossing conflicts, the most dangerous conflicts. Similarly, for another intersection on the same corridor, the reduction of conflicts is from 31 to 19, and for third intersection on the same vicinity from 67, the conflict points are reducing to 19. So this is how, when we reduce the conflicts, the safety is automatically guaranteed. Some improvement measures they have already implemented. So I would appeal, all of you to visit it and see for yourself that how comfortable and confident you feel as a road users. So even because there are 3 intersections and several improvement measures, we have provided them a stage-wise improvement program: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5, stage 6, and stage 7. So because improving all the three intersections at a time will create kind of uncomfort in the minds of the road users. So we suggested gradually let us give the dose of improvement and let there be gradual modification in the user behavior at the intersection. So this is a complete 11-stage intersection design, including design of parking below the intersection. So this is an additional information which is more towards the research for uncontrolled intersection. This is the major area in which we are conducting research right now, because 70% of the intersection in our country are uncontrolled intersection. So understanding and analyzing the safety at these intersections is important. So we have carried out traffic volume study and data extraction for around 30 intersections in Gujarat, as well as we have collected data from outside Gujarat also, and we have found out which are the major locations where high number of intersections take place. And we have, of course, there may not be history of any crash, but there is possibility. Therefore, we call it as the conflict. It is a conflict, we call it as. So there is effect of the two-wheeler proportions in the conflicting as well as the offending stream, and as the two-wheeler proportion increases, the probability of crash also increases. And we also use this one, what we call it as the surrogate safety measure or post encroachment time. And we found that under these conditions, where when the speed of the conflicting vehicles are high, there is possibility of very high possibility of rear end conflicting of the vehicle. And in case PET is positive, we have front end conflicting vehicle possibilities. So speed definitely has its role at the intersection. So therefore, as intersection designer, we have to ensure the control of speed. So finally, if we look at the challenges for intersection design and intersection operation, design base is mainly, it is based on single value of design vehicle, design driver, and we assume normal weather, which generally doesn't prevail in actual. We assume also that the users will fully comply whatever design you have made, the signages, markings you have in place. That is also not fully satisfied. There is, in terms of the design, if you see, we have vehicle-centric design. In particularly urban areas, we have to take care of the pedestrian as well as the bicyclist, which we are not taking care of, so that a kind of inequity and unsustainability is created among the road users. That is another major issue. And we also, it's a very important part that whatever we design will be actually perfectly implemented. That also we will be expecting, which is also not the case, and we have experienced that part. And lastly, the operation, we also assume that it will be ideal traffic operation, and the roadway conditions will also be ideal, which is not the case. So far as the operation is concerned, it is because of the variability in whatever way we have planned or designed, because of the human behavior, because of the nature, and because of the level of controls which we provide, which are largely static in nature. We don't have, dynamic controls, dynamic, information to the road users, and therefore, ultimately, it is not only the design has certain issues, but the operation also has certain issues, which makes the intersection operation at times unsafe, apart from inefficient and increasing in the delay. But overall, out of our experience of last 4 years in dealing with the intersections, we find that the major issue for understanding the intersection and behavior is inadequate and unreliable traffic data. So that is the major challenge, and this challenge we are trying to take up by pursuing with several governmental organizations to develop an ecosystem that there is automatic collection of the traffic data at vulnerable locations, and that data can be used by researchers, and suggestions, remedies to reduce the safety risk to the traffic can be proposed in time before crash starts happening at such locations. So this is the references, IRC codes, which we use, and you can use for design of intersections. And this is our research group, our research scholars, my colleagues, and engineers working for us as project engineers, and because of efforts by all of them, we are able to bring out this kind of a quality work. So with this, I thank you all for your patient hearing, and if you have any query, I can answer.